I me and my buddy Scott did our little podcast thing launch today, which is going to be it's like the people of Ebden Bridge. It's going to be talking about anything really, but issues that affect where I live, and stuff. But I'm still going to do my own little bits on here because I like talking to myself, and I find it quite cathartic, where you just get to talk and I, even though I know no one's particularly listening, it's good to speak and just get some stuff out of your system. I think I'm struggling, and not with my mental health, just struggling in general at the moment. I think it's too easy to blame. I don't want to make little of mental health, and I don't because it's a massive thing. But I also don't want to have something that you can use as a crutch to excuse your bad behaviour or to excuse why you don't do something. And I think in modern society we do that a lot. We label everything now. Everything's got to be a this or a that or a. And I know people have ADHD and anxiety and all the rest of it. I know that, but I never heard of it when I was a kid. We didn't have it. We probably did, but we didn't know about it, so we weren't able to use it as a not an excuse, but as a reason why we hadn't done something or whatever. There's an interesting fact that a doctor in the 1950s and 60s, a GP, could go his entire career, without ever coming across a case of autism in children. Switch that to modern day, and 1 in 22 children who a doctor sees are diagnosed with autism. Now, so much changed. And I don't know what that is. I have a sneaking suspicion it's something they put in our food. But I also think, there's that we want to cure everything. It's like COVID, when COVID came along. One death was too much. We've become very sterilized to death. We don't like death anymore. We don't accept it. 150, 200 years ago, infant mortality was huge, and now we just don't accept it. And I saw an interesting piece on a radio show today that they were talking about when laws are made by, because by relatives, where they pass a, Sarah's law or Jim's law or whatever. And the consensus among professionals is that these laws usually aren't very good because they're made out of emotion. And it's one of the reasons that they don't let relatives and people involved with criminal cases pass judgment on people or decide sentences, because you need someone who is, although it's an abhorrent crime or they're upset by what's happened, they can take themselves out of that situation and be independent and think freely and go, that should be the correct sentence for that. So I'm just But personally, I'm wondering where I don't know where I fit in anymore. I used to have a theory when I was quite nihilistic. And if you can be nihilistic, it's a great way to live. It's not very productive, but it is a good fun. That we're just lions and tigers and all the rest of it. We're just another animal species on the planet, and which we are. And that once and when you strip animal behavior down, and don't forget our time frame on how we behave and what is acceptable has been formed in such a short space of time. 200, 300, 400 years ago, we were just on the planet. You were there, you made your kids, and you got the fuck off there. Your job was to further the species. That's all it was. So when I was living like that, that's how I used to think. And then I stopped thinking like that. I thought we had a lot more to give to the world than that. And now I'm kind of thinking, I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking, actually, I've had 4 wonderful children. And what else have I got left to give to, the species? No, it was nothing. It was nothing. I'm nothing. I can exist and I can breathe and I can do stuff, but my usefulness as a male subject in part of the species is done. I'm done. And it's quite it's quite daunting when you start thinking like that, because you start thinking, well, what am I going to do? Am I just going to, do what I'm doing for the next 10, 15 years, 20 years until, the old body gives up? I don't know. What's the point in that? I don't particularly. My old boss used to say, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. And I used to like that. I like that way of thinking. So now I don't know where I am. So now I'm thinking, well, should I try new things? But if I go and try new experiences, which is great, but it's only me that's getting those new experiences, and I'm going to go as a body and die and then move on, because I'm a bit of a reincarnation guy. So it's not going to benefit anyone. And I want to do something. I think if I'm going to be here, I need to do something that's going to benefit people, because otherwise there's no point in me being here. You're taking up space. You're just another number. You're just fucking, a bill on the NHS when stuff starts going wrong, which it will do. My eye's going funny. I've got arthritis in a finger, and I'm just going to start costing the system and costing other people. So I want to be doing something which is at least repaying that. Like, trying to get to net zero, if you know what I mean. But in life, and at the moment, I feel as though I'm in a negative. I feel as though I'm emitting an awful lot of carbon dioxide, and I'm not getting even nitrous oxide, and I'm not really helping out. So I'm trying to find a way, I think, to balance out my existence. Like that. That's what I'm trying to do, and it's quite difficult, but I am trying to find a way to do it, and I will hopefully do it. Because if not, what is the point? There isn't a point. Because I'm just wandering around, breathing oxygen that someone else could be breathing and doing stuff that, and it's all right if I go and, sail around the world by myself. That's for me. It's not for anyone else. So I need to find something to do that's going to hopefully benefit other people. So I'm on with that. I don't know what I'm rambling on about. But yeah, it's going to be, and I need to stop. I need to learn better that my actions can have an imprint on other people. And I'm not a very considerate person. I'm very, very selfish. I've always been selfish. Always been selfish. And I do consider myself in front of other people. And I negate to think sometimes of what me doing something, how it affects other people. And I think that's really, I don't like that side of me. And it's there, and I can't help him. Because he's in here with me. There's more than one of us in here, I'll tell you now, fucking hell. Yes, I don't know about that. But I do need to be more aware that what I do can affect other people. And how it affects other people. It's a bit of a, it's just some big questions flowing around at the moment. I'm not a very happy bunny. I'm all right. I'm appreciating my dog a lot more at the moment. It is what it is. Life's life, isn't it? But no, I need to find something to do where what I'm doing, I can see some positive impact for other people, because most of what I do has a negative impact at the moment, and I don't want to live in a state where everything I do is negative. So I'm going to try and alter that and get to the point where I'm at least net zero or carbon neutral or whatever you want to call it. And, ideally you would be in a place where what your actions are creating a positive in the world. I think we're going to need positives. There's an awful lot of doom and gloom coming up. But again, there's an awful lot of positiveness that you can say, well, fuck it. I'm not going to buy into it. I think we buy into stuff these days. I think we do. I watched a comedian who was talking about being cancelled, and it was really nice because he just said, these people, this online stuff, it's just not fucking real, and it's not. It's not real. We take it far too seriously. He was brilliant. He just said, fucking some guy's threatening to kill me. He's not going to fucking kill me. He's just a gamer talk. Gamer talk was the phrase used. Oh, what a brilliant fucking phrase that is, gamer talk. So, you're sitting on your couch, you go, kill that motherfucker. You wouldn't, these guys who are on there would be absolutely fucking gobshite in fucking actual war situations. So, there is a lot of gamer talk out there, and you do need to ignore it. Because everyone's a keyboard warrior. Everyone's a brave online. And it's not real. It's all bullshit. So anyway, I'm going now because I've done 15 minutes and I've talked to myself, and I don't feel any better. But I will do, honestly.